In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 reasons you may want to take Social Security as soon as possible. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Now, first off, I just want to throw this out there really quickly, which is I am not here to influence anybody, especially when it comes down to a very important decision like this, your Social Security benefit. I would never want to persuade anyone in a video like this. However, I do want to bring these 5 points to your attention because these are very important, and when it comes down to your Social Security, this is your money that you have earned, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach for everybody. You've got to understand your own personal situation and what fits best for you. So again, I want to point these 5 out for you here in this video, starting right now. Number 1 is Social Security insolvency. Now, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you probably heard me talk about this before in other videos, or if this is your first time coming across the channel, well, hey, thanks so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you have not done so yet with the big subscribe button down below. But this is something that's out there all over the place, and I'm sure you probably heard about it at some point from somebody. But here's what it comes down to. They talk about the Social Security Trust Fund basically running out of money in the next 9 or so years. Now, there's a lot of misinformation out there and a lot of misunderstanding as well, thinking that Social Security benefits are going to be ending in 9 years. No, that is not the case whatsoever. However, if they do nothing, as in lawmakers, if they do nothing to shore up the program and make sure that it does not become insolvent in about 9 years, then benefits will be cut anywhere between about 20 to 25% based on the reports that are out there right now. So again, this is a major factor that you want to take into consideration, because if you are 62 or over right now and you have not filed for your Social Security yet, you may want to take this into consideration, because there is a possibility that lawmakers do nothing. If lawmakers do nothing, then guess what? Benefits will be cut between 20 and 25% as of the reports, okay? So if you take this into consideration, you might think, hey, I want to go ahead and claim as much money as I can now before I get a massive cut in about 9 years. Okay, so I'm just saying, take that into consideration. We have no clue what's going to happen in the next 9 years. We have to cross our fingers that they do something, but no promises, right? There's no promise here at all that says they will for sure do something. We're guessing they will, but no promises, okay? So as of right now, as it stands, this is something you certainly want to take into your considerations and something you want to take into your Social Security planning, because that'd be a massive cut to a lot of people. But if you can take it now, then think that's a lot of extra money you can put stash away between now and when they potentially cut benefits, okay? Just take that into consideration. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2, life expectancy, okay? Yup, I'm going to go down this road, okay? Nobody wants to talk about this. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about it, but it's something we need to throw into this mix, because this is also a very important aspect of filing for your Social Security benefit is life expectancy. Remember, the name of the game and the rules of Social Security are you must be present to win. In other words, you've got to be vertical, not horizontal, okay? You get what I'm saying here, right? Okay, you've got to be around in order for you to be able to claim Social Security benefits, okay? So as a result of that, none of us know how long we're going to be around, right? It's just a very scary thing, right? A lot of us don't want to even think about that, but this is a very, very important aspect of Social Security planning, which is you got to kind of take into consideration, hey, how long do I think I have, right? Well, with that being said, that'll help you kind of gauge when you may or may not want to file for your Social Security benefit, okay? So life expectancy is a very important one. Now, again, have a serious thought about this, okay? Have a serious conversation with yourself about this one. This is very, very, very important, because there's a lot of aspects. In fact, I've talked about it many times before in other videos. You probably know about kind of what I want to talk about here and what I want to think about here with this. But again, just to have some serious thoughts about this, it's a very important aspect of your planning when it comes down to filing and taking Social Security, okay? That's number 2. Number 3 is the break-even analysis. Now, this actually comes back to the life expectancy thing as well, okay? So this will all kind of circle together here in just a second, but break-even analysis, get this. In fact, I have a couple dedicated videos here on the channel talking exactly about this break-even analysis. It's actually very interesting, and in those other videos, I've broken it down very, very clearly. But For virtually everybody, the break-even analysis is between the ages of 77 and 81 is the break-even for most people, okay? Now get this. If you file for your benefit at the age of 62, yes, you'll be getting about 30% cut to your benefits because of the penalties for claiming early, but you'll also be claiming benefits for about 5 years earlier or 5 years longer than somebody who claims their benefit at the age of 67, right? Which is the full retirement age for somebody who was born in 1960 or after, okay? Now, you can wait all the way until the age of 70, and benefits do increase pretty nicely from the time that you hit your full retirement age all the way until the age of 70. But long story short here, if you file for your benefit at the age of 62, 67, or at the age of 70, the break-even analysis is right around that age 77 to 81 range, okay, for virtually everybody. My point is, think of this when it comes down to your life expectancy as well, okay? Now, obviously, we don't know our life expectancy, but we can kind of, calculate and think like, hey, I think about this is the range, right? Okay? I know it's weird to think about that, but seriously, take all this into consideration and then also think about the break-even analysis as well, okay? Now, here's the thing as well. I want to point out really fast here, and then we're going to move on to point 4, but think of it this way, okay? So if you file for your benefit earlier, obviously your checks will be quite a bit smaller, but you'll be claiming them for a longer period of time. If you take your checks at, say, full retirement age, yes, you're not going to be sustaining a benefit cut because of the penalties for claiming early, but you'll be claiming them for less long. So it's a higher benefit for a shorter period of time. And if you wait until the age of 70, then obviously you're going to be getting a much larger check, but for a lot less time, right? Because you've essentially waited 8 years from the time that you've turned 62 all the way to until the age of 70. That's an 8-year period of time that you were not getting checks. Now, yes, your benefit checks are going to be a lot bigger at the age of 70, but your runway has gotten a lot shorter. 8 years shorter, okay? Think of it that way, right? Very important to consider. So that's the third point there. Number 4, spousal. Now, here's what's interesting about this, okay? This would unlock your spousal benefit. If you are somebody who's currently married, this would unlock your ability to have your spouse claim your benefit. Now, let's just say that you are the person who, essentially had the highest income in the family, between you and the spouse, things like this. And if your income was significantly higher throughout your working career, if you go to file for your benefit, this also unlocks your spousal benefit so they can take up to 50% of your PIA, which is primary insurance amount, okay? This would be your maximum benefit basically at your full retirement age or full benefit age, as I like to say in other videos, okay? So this is also very important as well. This also plays into a lot of Social Security planning, which is, hey, if I take my benefit, this means my spouse can also now file for their benefit and grab 50% of my primary insurance amount, okay? That's also a very important strategy you may want to consider, okay? There's a lot of moving parts here, as you can probably see, right? So take that one into consideration as well, because a lot of people don't recognize, hey, there's a spousal benefit waiting for your spouse. Did you know that? Well, that's out there as well. Now, I want to clarify this really quickly. Again, there's a lot of confusion about this as well. Can your spouse get their benefit along with the spousal benefit? The answer is no, the higher of the two, okay? So let's just say, for example, I'm going to spend another minute on this one, okay, on this point 4 here, and then we'll move on to point 5, okay? Let's just think of it this way, okay? So let's just say that your benefit amount is, say, $2,000, okay? Your benefit could be eligible to receive and entitled up to get 50% of that, so $1,000, okay? But let's just say that your spouse has an income record and their benefit would be on their own work record of, say, $1,100. Would they take the spousal benefit in this case? No. Why would they? It'd be less money than claiming on their own work record, okay? But let me give you a separate example. Let's just say that you earned a much higher income than your spouse throughout your working years, okay? Let's just say that your monthly benefit is going to be, I don't know, $3,200, okay? $3,200 is your amount, okay? So that's what you would be getting at your full retirement age, okay? Now, let's just say that your spouse also has a work record, and on their work record, they'd be getting, I don't know, $1,200, okay? That's what they would get on their work record. Now, let's compare the differences here. Remember, they can get up to a 50% of your spousal, in a spousal benefit of your benefit. Remember, your benefit is $3,200. Now, 50% of that is $1,600, okay? But remember, your spouse's benefit on their own work record is $1,200. Okay, so what's What's more, $1,600 or $1,200? Obviously, the spousal benefit would be $400 more in this case. So in this case, obviously, they would take the spousal benefit. So if you think about it that way, you might think, hey, if I take my benefit now, this unlocks the potential spousal benefit, and now this person can take 50% of my PIA, primary insurance amount benefit. Does that kind of make sense? Again, by the way, I have dedicated videos here on the channel talking about the spousal benefit, how to claim it, all the parameters about it. I don't want to get into all the parameters right now, but basically there are parameters around that. And even if you are somebody who is divorced, your ex-spouse, provided they have not remarried, can also get 50% of your benefit, by the way, okay? One more thing I want to throw out there. This does not impact your benefit. A spousal benefit or ex-spousal benefit does not impact your benefit. In fact, an ex-spouse would not even know that you're taking that benefit, okay? So it's just money that they would get on the behalf of your work record, but it does not impact your check whatsoever. Does that make sense? So again, I know a lot of people are worried about that. Like, hey, is my spouse going to take my check or my ex-spouse? No, it doesn't work that way, right? It does not impact your check whatsoever. All right, so sorry. I spent a little bit more time on that point number 4 than I wanted to, but you kind of get the points there. If you want me to come back and make a dedicated video talking about spousal benefits, let me know down below in the comment section. I can certainly make an updated video on that and bring it to your attention. But next, number 5 is the money. Okay, now obviously this seems like a really obvious point, like, okay, yeah, we get it, the money, right? But let me point this out really quickly, okay? Historically, over the last 10 years, the COLA, cost of living adjustment, is about 2.6%. That's a really bad return on money, okay? My point is this much. If you were to take your benefit now, whatever age you may be, whether you need the money or not, do you think that you independently could get a better return on that money than 2.6%? Probably, okay? I'm going to say this much as well really quickly. Right now, as I film this video, returns on simple savings accounts, just savings accounts, are around 4 to 4.5%. You don't even have to search that far. My savings account, I'm getting about 4.36% I think right now in interest, and I have like virtually no money in it. My point is, interest rates on just simple basic savings accounts are very high right now, okay? So my point is, even if you were to take your benefit and just plow it into a savings account, historically, the COLA, the cost of living adjustment, again, is about 2.6% a year over the last 10 years, okay? If you took that money and did nothing with it, even if you didn't need the money, you took it and just put it into a savings account, that money would be increasing at a pace of about 4 to 4.5% right now versus the 2.6% with the COLA. Does that kind of make sense? So again, there's other aspects you need to take into consideration, including your age and how much of a penalty would you be sustaining by taking your benefit early. Obviously, that's going to reduce your benefit as well, and you'd be better off waiting. But there's a lot of other things. Now, that's just in a savings account. What if you could invest it in something like, I don't know, the stock market or an annuity or real estate or something like this that returns, I don't know, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15% a year? Do you think you'd be ahead then? Massively ahead, right? So my point is, this is also something you want to take into consideration, is just, hey, if I were to take the money, even if I don't need it, what if I invested it? Now, let me point this out as well. Let's just say you took the money and paid down debt. Do you have any debt right now? I have debt. I have a lot of debt. Way more debt than I want to tell you right here on this video. It's a big, big number. I am not necessarily proud of it, okay? But I have a lot of debt. My point is, if I could take that benefit and plow it into just paying down debts, remember, if you're paying, say, 22.5% interest on a credit card, okay, if you take $1,000 a month from Social Security or $2,000 a month from Social Security and you push it right into a credit card, guess what? You are now saving that percentage on the interest in that saving or in that on that credit card, right? So you've literally just manufactured money. You took the money from Social Security, you pushed it into paying off a credit card, and you're saving yourself, what, 22% interest on a credit card? On that balance, you're saving yourself a lot more money. You're way more better off taking that money and paying down debt. Now, let's just say that you have, I don't know, an auto loan at say 5.5% or 7%. What if you have student loans? Again, same situation. What about, I don't know, a mortgage locked in at say 4.5%, something like this? Again, take that money, pay down your mortgage, and now guess what? Yes, it's going to take a while to pay that thing down, but eventually when you do, now you have a house that's free and clear. You're not paying the bank, you're not paying the manager, anymore, and that's interest that you get to keep and no longer making those payments on a monthly basis to the bank for your house, right? Now you're free and clear. What other liabilities do you have on that house? Well, obviously maintenance and repairs. You have insurance, you have property taxes, other things like that, but it's certainly a lot less than paying principal and interest to the bank along with your mortgage interest or interest on the mortgage, and you have, insurance, things like this. So again, a lot of different things you can think about here. And even if you don't need the money, it's also something to think about. If you have debt, well, think about it that way. What if I pay down my debt? What if I take my Social Security and do nothing with it other than just pay down debt? Would that be beneficial in retirement? I think so, right? Going into retirement debt-free is a very powerful stance to be in, because now you have no liabilities. You're on top of the world, right? You own your finances at that point. If you go into retirement with a pile of debt, I mean, that's fine. A lot of people do it, but now you're sitting there trying to scrape by on a fixed income, paying down debts every month, right? People knocking on your door. Hey, you got our check? Hey, you got a payment for me? Hey, get lost, right? That's what you want to say to the people, right? Every time. But anyway, I hope this helps you. These are the 5 points I wanted to point out for you really quickly in this video. 5 reasons that you may want to consider taking Social Security right now or sooner than later. But again, I'm not here to persuade anybody. This is very personal. Everybody's situation is very, very different. I never want to influence anybody with a video like this, but something to think about. Seriously, think about all this. There's a lot more to it than this. I could sit here and rattle off 5 more points that you want to take into consideration, but I'm going to leave it at that for right now in this video. So if you like this, please make sure to subscribe down below. There's a big subscribe button. Share this video with your friends on social media. Again, a share button right down below as well, next to the subscribe button. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section, or the thousands in the video library. Until next time, check out the videos on your screen, watch those videos as well, and have a nice day. Take care. I hope this one helps you, and I'll catch you again later in the next